All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to talk about Inzoi. Now, here's the thing about Inzoi. Inzoi is getting backlash from both sides of the aisle right now. There are people that don't like this game seemingly because it has non-binary options in the game, and there are people that don't like this game seemingly because you can't have gay relationships in the game. The game is literally just trying to be a life simulator, and there are people that are trying to turn it into an ideological battleground. But with all that being said, the game is doing fairly well at about 87,377 all-time concurrent players, which is definitely better than Assassin's Creed Shadows. So shout out to them. Great job on that. But there is some drama that's being spun up by the journalists, and the journalists start doing their controversy whenever they don't get their way. And considering the game doesn't have LGBTQ relationships, that's all it takes for them to start attacking the game. Now, they tried to stir up some drama because the game apparently allows you to run over children, although the developers have finally admitted that that was actually a bug and was not intended at all. It's amazing to me, ladies and gentlemen, that these people that claim to be so tired of the culture war, they're so tired of all the controversy, they're complaining that, oh, every AAA game has drama behind it, but they're so funny to not even realize that they're the ones that cause the drama most of the time. They're the ones that cause the controversy most of the time because they're the ones that end up attacking developers that don't ideologically agree with them for whatever that reason may be. Nobody was talking bad about this game until they found out that there was no LGBTQ relationships in the game, and then all of a sudden there's articles everywhere complaining about little finite details like this that people know are usually BS. So let's get into this article, guys. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now again, guys, Inzoi apparently lets you run over children. I can already hear all the jokes in the comments. You're gonna see based all over the comments. I get it. This is one of the things where it's like, it's a life simulator, number one. And number two, whatever happened to you control the buttons you press? Whatever happened to that, right? Whatever happened to, you make the decisions you want to make. So for all these people that are trying to pretend to be offended over the game letting you run over children, my question is, why are you running over children? Like what? Why would you even have the opportunity to do so? What would bring you to want to run over the kids in the game? You know what I'm saying? You control the buttons you press, right? Isn't that what you say all the time when people complain about other things that you ideologically agree with? Now you're out here trying to virtue signal about this because the game doesn't have gay relationships and that's what you're really mad about? But in any case, in one of the year's most dark discoveries, oh, it's so dark. It's so dark that you can run over a child in a video game. Brand new hit life simulator Inzoi lets you run over children. While the game is designed to mimic most aspects of day-to-day life, players are understandably baffled by the inclusion. Again, why are you choosing to run over children? I don't understand. For you to discover this, that means that it must have been in your mind to do it in the first place. So my question is, why did you choose to press those buttons? That's like the simplest question I have right now. Inzoi has steadily gained momentum and hype throughout 2025. Eventually, it superseded Hollow Knight Silksong to become the most wishlisted title on Steam. Despite a de novo roadblock on the way, the new rival to The Sims has gotten off at a hot start. It allows you to escape your real life to live a more perfect existence through Inzoi. However, Inzoi possibly offers a bit too much freedom, as you can quite literally control a car and careen into children. Again, you control the buttons you press, right? I'm going to keep saying that because these freaking losers are the ones that say that all the time. Anytime you have issues in a video game, they're like, well, you control the buttons you press. You do as well. If you don't want to see a child run over in a video game, perhaps you should not have the urge to run over children in a video game. You know what I'm saying? It's very clear you have that urge and that you want the developers to take away that urge because you can't control it. I'm just saying. Anyway, a Night Safe for Work post appeared on the Inzoi subreddit on March 27. It initially contained a description saying you could drive into the elementary school and run over children. Underneath the message is a video of the action itself. Now let's see if we can actually pull up this video. Here it is right here. Here we go.
Get out of here! Ah!
So yes, you could basically run over children. As you can see, the kid went flying and bounced, and the ragdoll physics are absolutely insane. So you definitely can do that. But my question is, what brought you here in the first place? Why did you bring your car into the elementary schoolyard and decide to even test out this theory in the first place, right? It's very clear that whoever did this in this video didn't care, right? It's very clear that they were having a grand old time. They were laughing their ass off at this. And I also find it hilarious that the NPCs didn't even respond. Like, these kids just saw their friend get freaking ragdolled all the way to the other side of the court. And they're just like, yep, I'm going to walk in front of the car. Yeah, I'm going to stay here. This guy driving this car is clearly sane. Everything is perfectly fine. But in any case, this level of backlash resulted in this, where the Inzoi developers had to respond, and they said that the ability to run over children was a bug. Now, for me, do I believe it was a bug? No. I believe it was just the idea that, oh, nobody's going to do this. Like, we don't even have to bother turning this off because nobody's going to want to run over kids in the game. Little did they know that people like that are going to want to do that, and now they got a controversy on their hands because these journalists found their way in to try to make the game controversial. The same people that complained that all AAA games now are controversial are the ones that are causing controversy. It's amazing. So anyway, so they finally said something about this, and they said this issue was caused by an unintended bug that has been resolved in the latest patch. The representative said, these depictions are highly inappropriate and do not reflect the intent and values of Inzoi. We understand the seriousness of this matter and age-appropriate content, and we are strengthening our internal review process to prevent similar incidents in the future. Again, guys, this is absolutely ridiculous. This whole thing is just proof that these people are hypocritical, right? This whole nonsense about you control the buttons you press, they only care about controlling the buttons that you press. They want to be allowed to do whatever they are able to do, but the moment something happens that you're able to do that offends them, suddenly they want to control the buttons you press instead of letting you control the buttons you press yourself. It's such a ridiculous freaking notion, and it proves that these people don't actually care about the game itself. They just want to stir up controversy. And they claim everybody else are rage baiters and grifters, yet when they do it, everybody's quiet, right? Nobody's saying anything about these journalists stirring up controversy in a freaking life simulator game. Literally Inzoi, a life simulator game, and they're complaining about this nonsense. But here's what it's really about, right? Well, number one, they're mad as hell that the game is super successful and it doesn't have any gay shit in it. That's number one, what they're mad about. They want LGBTQ nonsense in the game. And listen, for all intents and purposes, sure, it's a life simulator. Go for it. I don't give a fuck. You should be able to do whatever you want to do in a life simulator game, in my opinion. Again, it's not the kind of game for me, but I'm sure the people that are playing life simulator games don't really care if you want to be gay in the game. It's only going to affect you anyway. It's not like the game's online or whatever the case may be, where you have to be forced to witness that shit. Again, you control the buttons you press, kind of nonsense. But Inzoi doesn't have gay relationships in the game. They don't have gay marriage in the game. They don't have the ability for anybody to be able to have any kids in the game. Literally nothing, right? So basically, they are upset about that, and they're projecting their anger into something else. They're trying to, complain about this, where they really don't care about the kids being run over in the game. They don't care about that nonsense. They're only using it to try to make the game look bad, but they failed, right? Inzoi is doing very well, 87,377. They can't even claim that the game is a failure because every single day they're spouting the concurrent numbers of Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is at 64,000, as a massive success, a commercial success, a huge success. So if that's the case, then Inzoi beating it by about 20,000 concurrent players should be an even bigger success than that, according to their logic. Now, I believe that Inzoi is only available on Steam right now. It is not a console game, so a lot of people are enjoying the game on Steam right now. And if you look here, it's got an all-time viewing peak of 170,165. It is in the #1 top sellers on Steam, which doesn't mean much, by the way. It just means revenue. But anyway, I'm just pointing that out because, again, these people wanted to point that out when it came to Assassin's Creed Shadows, so I'm just returning the favor. Got 306,000 followers on Steam, which is pretty massive. It's got 84% positive review ratio. I'm sorry. And again, all-time peak of 170,000 viewers on Twitch, which is pretty equivalent to Dragon Age of Veilguard, which is ironic to me because Assassin's Creed Shadow had double the amount of viewership and only got 64,000 at the top number, where Dragon Age of Veilguard got 174,000 in Twitch viewership and managed to get 89,000 in concurrent players. So it's funny how Assassin's Creed Shadows had double the amount of curiosity and yet had less sales on Steam. It just doesn't make any sense. But in any case, Inzoi has this fake outrage going on right now. People are trying to pretend to be angry about all kinds of things on both sides, but ultimately, anybody who enjoys life simulator games is currently trying out this game right now, and they're playing it. And I'm hearing things about the game being broken, game being buggy. I care more about that, and as I look for more information, if I find out more, I will share it with you. But as of right now, congratulations to this studio, especially for removing the Nouveau. You guys clearly are doing not that bad. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.